pedestrian crossing the road just nearby, heading onto the wrong side of the road now, driving
Windsor
Road, but heading in the wrong direction there, travelling against the traffic, weaving through very busy intersections.
And you can see how banged up it is in the front. So it's obviously caused significant damage. It's trying to turn around now. There's police. It's cornered it.
There we go. We've got several police vehicles now. Oh,
it's mounted the footpath.
Okay, it's just woven through that traffic, and is still evading police. They came very close there, turning now into oncoming traffic, and several vehicles extremely close to this car. This, that came very close to being brought to an end there, but this driver, whoever is behind the wheel of this vehicle, has managed to evade police again. There were several vehicles who were police vehicles that were very close to cornering that car. It's now got a free run again.
So maybe the police have locked off that road as it goes into the tunnel. You see the police are in pursuit now as they're heading into a tunnel. We also saw before a person who seemed to not know what was going on crossing the road literally seconds as that car was coming around.
Came within metres of a pedestrian crossing the intersection.
So really dangerous driving here as we're seeing it speeding through again at high speeds coming out.
You can see in this shot the state of that vehicle too. It is well and truly banged up, isn't it? So it's been on quite the ride for the last hour or so.
Traffic intersection here. We'll have to see what's going on. But the police are, keeping their distance, but also trying to keep on this driver.
Well, this becomes the difficult juggling act for the police, doesn't it? Like you're staying away to avoid a potential crash, but at the same time staying on their tail. I've had a look at some close-up shots of the vehicle earlier. It looks like there could be someone in the passenger seat as well, so there could be more than one person in this car at the moment. That is also a concern for police. So. The problem is you're moving into areas in Sydney where we're potentially going into tunnels. You could go into a shopping centre. This becomes the next issue for officers. It's trying to watch.
There's quite a here we go. This is a pretty built-up set of traffic lights. The next manoeuvre.
Oh my goodness, they are having no concern getting through this.
Found a way out of there. Almost into that maroon vehicle.
We're relieved to say at the moment it doesn't appear to have hit anyone in other cars while we're watching it, but that is not from want of trying.
Clearly hit something.
It certainly has.
In the moments beforehand. Make no mistake, they're following this on radio at the moment in Sydney as well. Obviously police and the entire newsroom watching this to try and get as much information as they possibly can for you as we go to air.
Seven Hills onto the wrong side of the road, going into oncoming traffic again and out again. Heading towards Baulkham Hills now, so we're getting into a more suburban area off the sort of wide and open freeways or motorways that it had been travelling on. So this is going to become more dangerous.
There's a car that's coming right up now.
Yeah, and just be aware if you're in this area right now. This person is showing no regard for the safety of other people. So do be aware that this is playing out in the Baulkham Hills area right now. A vehicle crossing onto the wrong side of the road.
One lane traffic as well.
Over and over.
So Baulkham Hills, if you're moving into that suburban area, they've got a couple of ways that they could go. They could go out towards Blacktown.
Oncoming traffic again, wrong side of the road again, Davina.
Feeding north up into Hornsby, possibly. They could turn back into that way or go straight out towards Penrith. So the problem with this area, while it is heavily built up, a suburban area, it feeds into a number of different paths to get back onto freeways, to get out of Sydney and to make an escape from police.
Look at this populated area. This is really dangerous.
This vehicle now is metres from driveways, from people's homes.
Schools,
straight past another car and weaving through a bus. So there are an incredible number of dangers and hazards around at this point as we get into a more built-up part of suburban Baulkham Hills in the Hills district of Sydney.
That was very close to that truck then. This is really alarming for all the other drivers on the road as it passes a bus flying through that that roundabout there.
And as Davina points out too, it's such a delicate balance for police officers at a time like this to give them enough room to not force an accident that puts people at harm.
So they slowed down there remarkably because it was a school zone. You can see how close police have managed to creep up onto them.
Now in northwest Sydney, it's approaching Castle Hill now. So you can see that the ground that this car is covering shows you how fast the driver of this vehicle, we think there's another passenger in the vehicle, is travelled. And the police, obviously, we've seen cars pull over as well, so the police obviously have their sirens on to warn people of this traffic. But, it's still an accident could potentially and frighteningly happen at any time.
DC, you're talking about the the distance that they've travelled from
Yeah.
southwest Sydney to northwest Sydney, it is impossible to make it through that space of distance in the space of about half an hour. And that's
Shop
exactly
there.
what...
Look, there's a pedestrian right there. This is getting really dangerous.
So this is a very busy intersection.